Hello and welcome, Chippewa fans, to CMUChippewas.com, where we are inside the CMU Sports Zone for the final Wrestling Insider of the 2011-2012 season. I'm your host, Greg Palawski, and this year the wrestling team had an unprecedented 11th straight MAC championship, as well as having one of the youngest teams that CMU has had in its history. I'm here with head coach Tom Borrelli. Now, Coach, to start things off, can you just describe to the viewers at home how much you've seen the team develop and improve over the course of this past season?
Quite a bit, Greg. They improved throughout the year. We started out a little rocky. We had our ups and downs during the season. I think we were 14-9 in dual meets. But we wrestled a very challenging schedule, and our team grew through the process of the season, grew through the year. Like you mentioned, we were pretty young. I think we had 6 or 7 first-year starters in our program this year of the 10 weight classes. So, I saw those guys, like I said, get knocked down a little bit, but continue to get up and continue to come back every day with a good attitude. And, it paid off at the end of the year.
Now, we've talked all season, and one of the philosophies that I've noticed here at CMU is that we always try to get wrestlers prepared for March, for the MAC championships, for the NCAA tournament. Can you talk about the performance that the team put together to win the conference tournament for the 11th straight time?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, pretty special tournament this year. I think a lot of people expected us not to win the tournament this year. Kent State was ranked 13th in the country in the last regular season dual meet poll. They had won the MAC regular season championship. They beat us in a dual meet. So a lot of people thought we were vulnerable this year. And with our youth, we probably were going into the tournament. But, our guys really came together. They didn't want to be the team to let the streak die, of consecutive MAC championships, tournament championships die. And it was pretty special to watch those guys fight through the tournament, kind of bond, and peak at the right time of the year. Like you said, we want to peak in March. We want to peak for the MAC championships, for the NCAA tournament. And I felt like we really peaked the weekend of the MAC championships.
Okay, now when you reflect on the season, is there a moment or a competition where there was a defining moment for the team?
I would say the defining moment was the final round of the MAC championship. We had 5 guys in the finals, so in the championship match for first or second, and then we had 4 other guys in the 3rd or 4th place match, so the consolation finals. So we had 9 of the 10 weight classes wrestling in the last round, which that was pretty special in itself to have 9 guys wrestling for a top 4 spot in the conference. But then, we needed someone to kind of get us going, and in the locker room before the final started, I told those guys that it was going to be tight. I think we were leading by 2 points going into that round, and we had 9 guys in the medal rounds, and Kent State had 9 guys in the medal rounds. And I told them that, we needed someone to get us started. And, Joe Roth went out and beat the number 4 ranked guy in the country at the time, Nick Bedleon from Kent State, beat him in the finals, and it was just a snowball from there. We ended up going 9-0 in that round. We didn't lose a match, and you could see our team's confidence and all the work that we'd done throughout the year just kind of snowballing along as that round went along.
All right, now talking about Ben Bennett, he's a 3-time All-American as well as a 3-time MAC champion, and he was named the MAC Wrestler of the Year this year. How important is he behind the scenes, setting an example for the younger guys in the weight room and in the wrestling room?
He's tremendous. He's a quiet leader. He leads by example. He's the guy that, with Scotty Sentes and Gerard Trice not in our lineup this year, he was the guy that everybody pointed to as maybe the standard bearer for our program, and he did an outstanding job taking on that role. Ben's a real quiet guy, but he speaks volumes through his actions, and we have a saying in our program, your actions speak so loudly I can't hear a thing you're saying. And so, that's kind of Ben taking on that role. Just everything he does is right.
Now moving on to 2 younger teammates, Zach Curran and Mike Ottinger, the 2 freshmen that fans became probably the most familiar with this season. Both won MAC titles and advanced to the NCAA tournament. How significant was the success that they had during the season?
I think it was real significant. Zach fought through a lot just to win the starting spot, and we weren't sure whether he was going to be the starter right up until the week before the conference tournament. So just to have that pressure on him all year and then to come through in the MAC tournament and win the MAC championship, and be a match away from being an All-American. He was in a round of 12 at the NCAA championships. He went 3-2 there. So just to see him fight through the things he did and have the success at the end of the year. And then Mike Ottinger was kind of our spark plug all year. The team kind of rallied behind him. He's a never say die type of wrestler. He really gets himself amped up for competition. And when you have a freshman that has that attitude, all the other people on the team, even the upperclassmen, even though they were first-year starters, they took on a little bit of that same attitude in that if he can do it, I can do it. He's a true freshman, and he's going to wrestle hard no matter what, so I should be able to do the same thing.
Now we talk about the age of CMU and the age of the wrestling team, but one of the benefits of having such a young team is having everyone come back and return for the next season. Looking ahead, 9 of the 10 individuals who competed in the MAC championships will return next year. How excited are you about the next season and having the opportunity to work with these guys again?
We have a real good situation right now. Like you said, 9 of the 10 guys are back, plus we have 2 returning 2-time All-Americans that are going to be back, Scotty Sentez and Gerard Trice, and both of those guys finished 4th at the NCAA championship 2 years ago. Another guy that will be back next year that redshirted this year is Eric Cubberly, who was a spot starter at different times 2 years ago. So we have a very, very good situation. We're real excited in the direction that our program is going, and we're looking forward to next year. A big part of it is preparation, though. We have to have a good spring and a good summer.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for giving me all your time this season. It's greatly appreciated, and good luck goes out to you and the rest of your teammates for the offseason.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage of the 2011-2012 wrestling season. For any up-to-date information on the wrestling program, be sure to stay tuned to CMUChippewas.com. For everybody here from the CMU Sports Network, I'm Greg Palawski.